My name is Hannah, and this is my no-buy year. I know it's not January anymore, but I've been wanting to film a January favorites. I didn't manage to squeeze it in before this, and so I'm doing it now. I am just going to share a couple of products and other things that I have been loving in the month of January. And the twist, although it may go without saying, is that these are all things that I entered the year of 2018 already owning. This is my no-buy year. I'm not buying any makeup, skincare, clothing, or homewares for the entire length of 2018. So my favorites are all things that have existed in my collection for a while. I'm just identifying the products I reached for the most, the products I might have rediscovered that I have really been relishing in January of 2018, even though they're not new. So if you'd like to hear all about my January favorites, let's go. I'm going to start out with two skincare items. The first one is the Ordinaries Virgin Marula Oil. I mentioned this before in my empties video because I had an empty of the Drunk Elephant Marula oil that I love. After I used up my second bottle of the Drunk Elephant one, I went ahead and placed an order from The Ordinary. This was at the end of last year, of course, and I decided to try this one out because I'd heard it was almost as good and for a fraction of the price. In my opinion, it is as good. I feel like I'm reaching for a luxury product when I reach for this, and I think it's only about $10. It's so rich, it's so luxurious, but it really does sink into the skin. I reach for it at the same time in my routine every day, and there are many things that I reach for every day. The reason I'm putting it in my favorites is that when I reach for it, I get that special skincare feeling. I just feel like, ooh, it's time for the Marula oil. It's so wonderful. If you've never tried Marula oil, especially if you have dry and acneic skin, most people talk about having acne and oily skin, but there are a lot of people out there who are dry and acne prone. I think that the same way that oily skinned people can sometimes be afraid to use oil because they feel like they're putting oil on top of oil, sometimes people with dry skin that's also acne prone are afraid of oils because we're afraid that the oils are going to clog our pores. I have found that Marula oil, like argan oil for example, breaks me out. Marula oil I have no problem with, and it's an antibacterial oil, so it helps fight acne. I really recommend Marula oil. I really recommend Marula oil. I really recommend Marula oil, and I recommend this one from The Ordinary. The Drunk Elephant one, it is wonderful, but it's $70. The second skincare product that I particularly relished in the month of January is this one. These are the Arkona Refresh Triad pads. They're toner pads. They aren't acid toner pads. They're just a basic kind of cleansing, refreshing toner. I mean, they do have some acid. I think they're cranberry based, so they're going to have a little bit of citric acid in them, but it's not like those Fab Beauty resurface pads. It's not like it's not a really intense skincare product. It's more of like a first step, like an essence step or like a post cleansing. Now, Arkona is a brand that I have loved and used for a long, long time. Pretty much, gosh, it could have been 10 years ago at this point that I got into Arkona, when I really first started realizing the power of skincare to help me clear up my very acne-prone skin in my early 20s. Arkona was the brand that revealed that to me. They have a beautiful system, have gone back to some of their products again and again, but since I've learned more about ingredients and I've started branching out into other brands, I don't have the full complement of Arkona products anymore like I had at one time. At one time, they were the brand that I went for. I had the whole lineup, and it really did save my skin. It really started the healing process for my skin. This product, I kind of got them on a whim. I think it was a time when my skin was really breaking out, and I thought, I was racking my brain to try to remember what were some of the products that I had been using the year before when my skin was clear for a couple of months, and this was one of them. So I went and I got a new thing of it. It'd been about a year, and they're just so wonderful. I'll read what it says on the back. Cranberry toner in convenient cotton pads, cleanses, tones, and hydrates, infusing the skin with protective antioxidants to leave it glowing and refreshed. And the place that this has in my routine right now is in the morning. So I sleep with a really thick layer of skincare on, and then when I wake up in the morning, I rinse it off really thoroughly and scrub it with a towel rather than going in with like a heavy duty cleanser. I just find that rinsing the layers of whatever I had on my skin off kind of cleanses it enough in the morning without stripping it. And then I'll go in with this. The fact that these pads usually don't pick up very much dirt after I rinse my face in the morning proves to me that it's pretty clean, that I don't need to go in with a second cleanse after just rinsing off my nighttime sleeping mask. But I do feel like if there's anything left over at all, or even if my face has picked up any debris or lint from the towel that I use to dry my face after I rinse it in the mornings, swiping one of these pads over really gives me a clean, fresh canvas and infuses my skin with some skincare before I start layering on my serums. My skin has been pretty clear lately, and I'm sure that it's not 100% something I can chalk up to this, but I just feel, again, like every time I reach for them in the morning, I'm like, oh, it's time to use that wonderful product that I really feel I'm seeing the benefits of. The other thing that's great about this is that the pad has a slightly gritty surface, just ever so slightly. It's just a very, very gentle physical exfoliant in the morning. So I feel like going over with a refreshing toner with a very gentle physical exfoliant pad before I start putting in my really powerful protective serums in the morning, it's working out well for me. I love these. They are the only thing in my routine that is like this. When I run out of these, I'll have to take a good hard look at my skincare. I'm not sure if I have any other toners that would preclude me from replacing these because they technically fit in the same category. I don't think I do though. It may be that when I run out of these, I'll be able to replace them. On to the makeup. So the eyeshadows that I reached for in January, far and away the most often, were my Colourpop pressed powder shadows. And I keep them here in this Z palette. The bottom row, the big shadows here on the bottom row, are something else. They're not Colourpop, but all the rest of these are. And I've especially been reaching for just kind of the Paper Tiger and this neutral one, these neutral ones, and these kind of burgundy ones right here I've been reaching for a lot. These are really great shadows, and I find it's so funny. I've been using these, and then once in a while I'll reach for another palette, and maybe it's just a matter of getting used to it, but I like the way these blend more than almost anything else in my collection. And when I reach for an old palette that I remember was really easy to work with, or I loved it so much, after having used these day after day, it's almost like nothing stacks up to them. Sorry, there's a helicopter. I don't know if it's just because I've gotten used to using them. Either way, they're very, very good. They did such a good job, Colourpop. I need to get something to drink. Another Colourpop product that has definitely been a favorite in the month of January is this single Super Shock shadow in Blaze. It's a beautiful sparkly bronze. Look at that. Sometimes I'll do a matte semi-smoky look for day, like the one I have on. I actually filmed or tried to film. Time will tell if the footage is actually usable. I tried to film myself putting on this eye look today. It's an all matte look, and sometimes I'll do a look like this sort of at the beginning of the day, and then I'll take Blaze with me and sort of like a little angle brush, and then if I'm going out after work, I'll just pat some of it onto the center of my lid and then buff some of it along the lower lash line to take my look from day to night. One of the things I like about the Super Shock shadows is how easy they are to grab and go. There are some sparkly shadows in here that would work the same way. Like I could take a look from day to night with this palette too, but I don't want to take this palette to work with me. So it's nice to have this portable little thing. A highlighter that I've been loving in the month of January is this. I only have a little sample size of it, but a little goes a long way, and it's been lasting me. It's been lasting. It's the liquid version of Becca Moonstone. I can't remember what it's called, but you know Becca has like the Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed, Shimmering Skin Perfector Poured. Maybe this is called Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid. Oh no, I can read it on here. It's really tiny, but it says Shimmering Skin Perfector Spotlights. So I don't know if that's the same as the liquid one or if the Spotlights collection and like the liquid are different. I'll find out and I'll make sure to put it somewhere. But this is the Moonstone version of Shimmering Skin Perfector Spotlights, and I love, love, love it because it doesn't leave a cast on my incredibly pale skin. It's partly because it's a very, very pale gold, so it kind of is, it's so pale that it kind of is the color of my skin, but also it's the formula. It blends out to almost nothing except for a really wet looking shine that stays all day on me, and I honestly can't get enough of it. This is a thing I'm gonna use up this year, I can tell. It'll be interesting. I'll use it up. I have so many highlighters, I won't be able to buy another one. My two favorite lip products in January were these two babies. So the first one is the EM Cosmetics Infinite Lip Cloud in Faded Clementine. This is something that I wanted and wanted and wanted after I saw people talking about it on social media. I wanted it for a long time, a lot of 2017. I can't remember when they came out, but I love the color, and I haven't, it's a very unique color. It's definitely the most unique color in her range. I didn't buy it. I didn't want anything else from EM Cosmetics, and so it seemed silly to place an order for just like this one lip product. And then as 2017 drew to a close and my no-buy year was launching, I was like, I can't live without Faded Clementine, and I ordered it. I'm so glad that I did because I love it so much. And it's not just the color, it's the formula. It's such a good formula. I was wearing it in two videos. I wore it in my mascara video, and then I wore it again in my January empties video. But in the mascara video, it's freshly applied and it's very glossy. It's relatively glossy. I mean, it's not a glossy lip at all, but it's just, the color is dark and rich and pretty even. And then in the empties video, I was wearing it again, but that time I had kind of blotted and patted it out into sort of a stain. So it's a much more matte and much softer looking lip color. I really love that this has the option to be both, and also what that means is that it fades very elegantly throughout the day if you're wearing it, but it doesn't fade very much. I wore this the other day to work and I reapplied maybe at 4, and then at the end of the night, 10 p.m. when I was taking my makeup off, it was still looking beautiful. The thing the formula reminds me of the most, the Infinite Lip Cloud formula, it reminds me of the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams, which is a formula that I love, but to me it has one major downfall, which is the staying power. I'll put on a soft matte lip cream, I love how it feels, I love how it looks, and an hour later it will be gone without me having even eaten or drinking anything, without me having done anything but breathe and speak. It'll be gone. This feels a lot like that. Slightly whipped, but really thin. It looks matte, but it doesn't feel matte at all. But it has the staying power that the soft matte lip creams don't. And to my surprise, even though it's the color that I thought I was obsessed with, as soon as I started wearing this, I wanted to buy a bunch more of the Infinite Lip Clouds. I've looked on the other colors and I want more of the colors. See you in 2019, Infinite Lip Clouds. I have the relationship with this lip product right now that, you know, when you want to reach for something every day and then you have to tell yourself, no, you wore that already so many times this week. Pick something else. That's how it is with me and Faded Clementine right now. Love you so much. It's one of those little ones that looks like a little chair. There's the fresh swatch, but then I think I should show you like, so there next to it I've kind of buffed it out, or I've sort of thinned it out a little bit. The other lip product that I really enjoyed in the month of January is the Clinique Almost Lipstick in Black Honey. It's a very elegant little thing. And that's what it looks like. It looks so dramatic. If you've ever seen it at the Clinique counter, you know, it looks like a really, really dark color, but then when you put it on, I'm really not good at swatching yet. It's like a balm. You can see that, right? It applies like a balm, but to be honest, this swatch is not going to do the product justice because it really creates that kind of bitten or wine stained or like popsicle flush. This is like, you know, that popsicle flush has become really popular lately. All the brands are claiming that their new product is going to give you that just been sucking on a popsicle flush. This is like the original of that. Clinique was doing that years before anybody talked about it being trendy. I feel like when I have a day where I want to wear a dark lip or a berry colored lip, but I don't want it to pull vampy, I reach for this, and I've been reaching for it a lot in January. It's such a pretty product. It's also super comfortable on the lips, kind of goes without saying. You feel like you're wearing a lip balm, but you look like you've been eating a popsicle. What more could a girl want? I did want to mention one makeup brush. I have it right here and it's dirty. Sorry, not sorry. It's the Morphe B19. And I use it for concealer, pinpoint concealing. And I also use it to apply concealer to the inner corners of my eyes if I want to highlight my inner corner without using like a reflective highlighter. If I just want to matte highlight the inner corner of my eye. I use this with my Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer, I think is what it's called. That and this go together. They go with me to work. They go with me when I go out. They live together at home. This is just like the tool that I use to apply my pinpoint concealer. I have had it for a while, but I think I only sort of in January started realizing what a dream, I think it might be a lip brush. It just occurred to me in early January to start using this brush for that purpose, and I'm so glad that I did. I feel like my application of concealer has been much more effortless and elegant and much more thorough since I started using this brush. Maybe if I decided I needed a concealer brush, I might have gone out and bought one that was supposed to be for concealer, whereas because it was my no buy year, I looked inside of my own collection, I found this beauty, and I have never looked back. I'm so, so, so glad. I have one fragrance to talk about. This is, if you saw my things I wish I'd purchased, I talked about how I wish I had purchased a full-size fragrance, the Glossier fragrance. There's another fragrance I really wish I had the full-size one. It's called Debaser, and it's by DS and Durga. When the year rolled over into 2018, it took all of 5 or 6 seconds for me to regret not buying either the Glossier scent or the DS and Durga scent Debaser to kind of get me through the year, because all I have are half bottles, little bottles, things. Anyway, so for scent, I've been going through basically a bunch of stuff I have lying around, and the one that I grabbed out to start using in January is this deluxe sample size of Jo Malone, Basil, and Neroli. This was a Sephora beauty weekly deal thing. I got it as a perk through Sephora, and it's a big sample for a scent, especially for a Jo Malone scent, because they're so potent. So I can just spray maybe once each wrist and once onto my décolletage, and I can smell this all day. Sometimes I'll spray a little into my hair as well. So I honestly have been reaching for this pretty much every day in January, Basil and Neroli, and I'm halfway through. This might get me through 2 months of my no-buy year. I tend to go for muskier, deeper scents. This is a very, very fresh scent. The basil makes it fresh, but it's fresh without being floral. It's herbal and it's green, and I do like that too. I love fig in perfumes. I love basil in perfumes, and then the neroli really deepens it, makes it rich, makes it kind of sensual, and it's just beautiful. It's a really good everyday scent, like a daytime scent. It's like you smell good, but it's not super intense or dramatic. It's just a really, really beautiful, lush, fresh daytime scent that has that underlying sensuality to it. I'm really glad that I have this. I love wearing it every day. I'm not against wearing it. I don't know if I would purchase a full bottle. I feel like 2 months is kind of good for me. Like, this is a nice thing to have right now, but who knows? I think with scent, a lot of the times, you know, it's when it's gone that you know how much you love it, right? If you miss it when it's gone, that's when you know it's time to go in for the full bottle. Then the last two things I have are not products. They are just things I have been loving. The first one is the library. The library. As you will know if you watched my January update, I have been going through books kind of faster than I went through them when I was just buying them. I'm not going to go on and on about it. If you're curious about the things I've been reading, go check out my January favorites. I might even love the library more than my Colourpop pressed eyeshadows. I might even love the library more than I love Marula Oil. And then my last favorite is a television show. I don't watch all that much television, but I am an intense super fan of RuPaul's Drag Race. RuPaul's Drag Race is everything to me. I might even love RuPaul's Drag Race more than I love the library. I don't think I can say that. But I love RuPaul's Drag Race more than I love Marula Oil. I can definitely say that. Anyway, RuPaul's Drag Race, it truly gives me life. It truly gives me life in that when I've been having like a rough day, I can watch an episode of RuPaul's Drag Race and I am revived. It is a source of lifeblood for me. The season that's currently airing is RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars Season 3. The third episode is going to air this week, so it started at the end of January. And I've been just clocking off of work every Thursday and heading with my boyfriend to a local bar in LA to watch the episode because they show it on big TV screens. And it's something to look forward to in a serious way. If you're unfamiliar with RuPaul's Drag Race, what are you doing with your life? Go watch it. If you want to start in the early days, I recommend starting with season 4. Or you could just start with this season, All Stars 3, and see how you like it.
RuPaul's Drag Race, start your engines. RuPaul's Drag Race, may the best woman win.
We have come to the end of my January favorites. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, please like, please leave a comment. What else do I want you to do? I can't remember what the other things are. But at the very least, please remember to take good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.